I can touch, I can feel, I can hear and see so much more than a fantasy. I can run, I can jump, I can dance and sing. Believe in yourself and do anything.
Believe in yourself and do anything.
From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from some place even higher. From the I can walk, I can talk, I can listen and learn as the wheels in my
Hello everyone, welcome to another Tinfoil stream. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good Saturday yesterday. I took a day off. Maps and Mimics, thanks for 27 months. This sub baby's name is going to be Bert. 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 Torgen Schmorgen. Bert Torgen Schmorgen. How's everyone doing? Hopefully good. My bangs are not cooperating with me today. They're just doing what they want. It's fine. Let's just get into it. Why not? This is a little bit more casual today. I don't think we're going to do bingo, because just quite frankly, I don't want to keep track of it. Mick Platypus, thanks for 11 months, says, I have been prepping by watching Greg's tinfoil nonsense. Good gravy. I haven't seen it. Jake's on my territory, though. DM Trey says, I'm kidding, but DM Trey says, hey all, I just finished my gunsmith certification. Woot woot. Fun. If we ever start a commune, you can come and do things to keep us safe. Blue Sky Drinking, thanks for subscribing at tier 1, 96% to level 1. Apparently we're on a hype train. Cool. What do we have today? Guys, Gina's doing great.
I want you to look at this interdimensional being that showed up when I took my picture with my cell phone. You can see its face, you can see its eyes. It's there. It's there. I could sense something when I took it, but I couldn't physically see it with my eyes. But you can see it here. Can you see the interdimensional being?
No, I can't. Spongy Lord says, Gina looks a lot like my grandma, and that's honestly okay. Gina's a good bean. She's confused, but she's got the spirit. 30% to level 2 on the hype train. Bone Wolf Connor, thanks for 15 months, says, 15 months already? That's only 3 months to remember the firstborn's name before Stream Baby 2 spawns. I'm not a bad father, I swear. That's what they all say. Meek says, does Gina have a good support system in her life? I honestly have no idea.
It's right here. It was actually in the trees when I was taking picture by my she shed. It was watching me. You can see it way back here. It's like this right here. It's where it was back here. Just looking and
JP Black, thanks for
the
18 months.
interdimensional realm.
That's a sub baby. This sub baby's name is Interdimensional Friend.
Is so real. It really is. It's like this dimension is right here. It's right here, you all. It's really, it really is interesting if you think about that interdimensional realm, because you look at us in the real realm, but you know that realm they're in is real to them also. So it's really, it's amazing when you can take cameras nowadays, take pictures, and capture it. Now there are those who can see physically with their eyes into that spiritual realm, which is truly, that's like a gift. But you all, can you imagine that? Just right here in front of us, there's a whole nother realm.
Like, what gets me about Gina, and what I appreciate about Gina, is she thinks that the world is all this magical woo-woo shit, and she's not afraid of it. She's in awe. Which still, like, you know, she's believing things that aren't true. But I don't know, her attitude is good. Her attitude is good, despite her abject wrongness. Someone use a hats off and put a hat on me. Jesus Christ. Flower crown or witch hat. These bangs are not helping. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Appreciate you. Glad to see you again. Terradona, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs as well. Hats off. Man, witch cannon, what do you want me to wear? Witch hat, good call. Especially since I said it. Thank you. Now I won't have to be constantly fucking with my hair. Good. Good. Cool. 79% to level 5. Hair in my mouth. Hydrate. Will do. So that's what Gina's been up to. Same old, same old. Chris is meanwhile, getting shit on by his wife while watching the Mario Brothers movie because he thinks it's hiding, Flat Earth. This is a brief clip. I think it'll be fine.
Thinking about your brother?
I've never been a part this long.
Cece openly filming a film in the film, by the way. Shiro, thank you for 12 months. Thanks for the streams, Hannah. Thanks for the year of subs. Appreciate it.
Don't worry. We're going to save him.
I'm gonna kind of do this because I don't need Nintendo lawyers on my ass for Chris. JP Black says, hype, taking my BKYS this evening to Mario movie. BKYS. I don't understand the acronym, but I hope you have fun. Gnome Pickles, boys. Duh. That makes sense. Gnome Pickles, thanks for 14 months, says, that's right, we hide the truth on Flat Earth everywhere, Chris. They'll never believe you. Isn't that pirating? Yeah. Which is why I'm not showing it. All you need to hear is that he's watching the Super Mario Brothers movie, and he's about to connect it to Flat Earth, and his wife is going to tell him, you should see a psychiatrist.
You don't seem like you're from here.
I don't know where I'm from.
Tell him about the Flat Earth.
Yep. My earliest memory is arriving.
It's my daughter's birthday. This is a little present for her. She's here with her friends. But I've noticed, look at this.
I was
This
so
is
lucky
this
they
is the
found me.
Smurfs. Remember the Smurfs back in
They took
the
me in.
80s?
Raised me like one of their
This
own.
movie,
And
Super Mario
when I was
Brothers.
ready,
But I've seen so many things that...
they made me their princess.
Oh, and they're ridiculing Flat Earth, too. They have a disc in space.
Maybe you
What
my
happened?
world.
Ow.
Why don't you go see a psychiatrist?
I already have.
Huge sunset.
He kicked me out of his office.
With a naughty guy.
Did you fucking hear that? Gnome Pickle says he's the main character of life, though, Hannah. Crimes only matter when other people commit them. His wife said, you should see a psychiatrist, and he said, I already have. He kicked me out of his office. The lore is so good. Overthought says, honestly, if you're going to pick a Mario Brothers film to prove Flat Earth, pick the masterpiece that was the original from the 90s. I have that one on Blu-ray. It's beautiful. And probably a better movie. Wonder what he said to get kicked out. I'm sure he was just being belligerent. Bumble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub. 29% to level 6 on the hype train.
Come on. You know the Earth is flat. You know it's stationary. Nothing's moving.
His wife must fucking hate him. And can you blame her?
If our Earth is indeed vibrating, there's one way we could find out. And here's one way that I found out. If you look at water inside of a bathtub,
Prakgum says this isn't even Cece's wife implies at this point. Yeah, it's just out there. Pterodona, thanks for gifting us up.
you look at the surface pattern of the water, it is smooth. All right, there's no lumps, there's no textures. When water is settled in a bathtub, it's smooth. The surface of the water
We're not doing bingo today, no.
is level and the pattern is smooth. But when we go to the ocean, the oceans don't have a smooth pattern.
Yeah, that's because of tides and waves. Oceans are large bodies of water with waves and tides caused by both wind and gravity respectively. Like, there's also temperature differences that cause water to move. Like, there are underwater currents.
They have this sort of rigid pattern that I'm gonna zoom in, we're gonna examine here. When you look at the surface.
What about like a really big lake that's like calm? What about that?
Of the ocean water, it's not like what I just showed
44% to level 6 with 40 seconds left.
you with the bathtub. The surface of this bathtub water is smooth like glass, right? It's smooth like glass. And when we look at the oceans, we get this rigid sort of wrinkly pattern.
Waves. They're called waves.
As opposed to this, we get this sort of, carpet texture, if you will.
I don't know how, if someone said right now, describe the ocean, there are a lot of things I would say. I could opine for hours and try and come up with different ways of describing the ocean. Carpet textured would not ever come to my mind. I could sit here for 1,000 years and I wouldn't say that shit. Eldronder says, just imagine if you were there in the bathtub, all breathing and moving and farting. Not as smooth, is it? Thanks for the level 5 hype, everyone.
As opposed to this, right?
Black's Law Dictionary request. What would you like me to look up? Was that Pterodona? Contract? Okay.
We get this.
I assume it's like a binding agreement between multiple parties.
And this pattern, actually, if we can step out of our small human bodies and look at the earth on a gigantic scale, this pattern actually represents the vibrational energy of the earth influencing the water that we call ocean water. Check it out. Here is what water looks like when it's being vibrated. Here is what water looked like when the water is sitting.
Yeah, that doesn't look like waves. Just for the record, even this whole like spurious, look at this thing kind of reasoning doesn't work here because it doesn't look the same as waves in the ocean.
Upon something that's vibrating. All right? Here is what water looks like when the water is sitting upon something that's vibrating. Okay?
Contract. Where is it? Oh my god, there's so many pages for contract. Holy shit. Contract, an agreement between two or more parties creating obligations that are enforceable or otherwise recognizable at law. The writing that sets forth such an agreement. Loosely, an unenforceable agreement between two or more parties to do or not do a thing. No, it does say unenforceable. Weird. Between two or more parties to do or not do a thing or set of things. A compact. A promise or set of promises by a party to a transaction. Enforceable or otherwise recognizable at law. The writing expressing that promise or set promises. Broadly, any legal duty or set of duties not imposed by the law of tort. Especially a duty created by a decree or declaration of a court. The body of law dealing with agreements and exchange, the terms of an agreement or any particular term. And then there's a bunch of sub-definitions.
Attention to the
Oh shit, Jake Thoney, thanks for 1,000 biddies. Thank you.
pattern.
How you doing?
Now let's go back to the ocean water.
Did he mute himself? What the fuck? This guy, he's one of the all-time big brainers, you can tell.
One consistent argument that I always get whenever I'm debating a globe earther is that the ship went over the curve, the sun goes over the curve when it sets. And I try to explain vanishing point and lines of convergence, But to know of
People are familiar with vanishing point. That's not what's happening with the sun. And if boats get far enough away, no, they go over the curve, regardless of any vanishing point.
them,
It's not just an optical effect, it's the fact that it is obscured by the curvature of the Earth over a long enough distance.
maybe this video will help. I mean, just think about it a minute. If the sun is going over a curve, then
Glad you're doing alright, Jake.
I'm running over that same curve. And if that's true, then it only take about 1 minute to run over the curvature of the Earth, or about 1 block, which would put you on a very, very small globe.
Sir, use a telescope or something. Your eyes do not have the capability necessarily of seeing things that far away. That's why you can use, like, telescopes and stuff to do the ship experiment.
So there is no curvature, and this is just yet another example of vanishing point.
I fucking hate zetetic, astronomist, flat earth assholes. Guys, do you want to learn about the secret Apollo 20 mission?
There is a conspiracy theory claims that the Apollo 20 mission found an alien girl on the moon. The girl is referred to as Mona Lisa by the astronauts.
Who cares? Skip says, is the world flat or a disc? A disc isn't flat. When they say flat, they don't mean like two-dimensional. They just mean an even surface without curvature in the spherical sense. But I get what you're saying.
According to the theory, the girl's body appeared to have been that of a young woman, partially mummified with a thin layer of a waxy substance
She doesn't look mummified at all.
covering its skin.
That's not what mummification looks like.
She appeared to be locked into the controls of the spacecraft by a device connected to her eyes and nose.
This just sounds like the ship they found in Alien and Prometheus.
Official history tells us that the last time man ever went to the moon was in December 1972, when Apollo 17 astronauts Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt spent a record-breaking 3 days on the lunar surface. But more Apollo missions were originally planned, Apollo 18, 19, and 20 having already begun construction, or in the latter planning stages when they were cancelled in 1972, a combination of declining public interest and budget cuts, making the once prestigious moon program fall out of favor in Washington. Science fiction can speculate on what would have happened if these programs had gone ahead. Perhaps we would have habitable colonies on the moon today, or staging post.
Probably not. Like, we could get to the moon in the 60s, like, dangerously, but the concept of, like, using 60s and 70s and 80s technology to, like, do moon bases probably wouldn't have gone great. Even now, it's a pretty tenuous concept, but they're gonna try.
For trips to Mars. And maybe we would have explored the dark side of the moon, long rumored to contain remnants of an ancient alien civilization.
Who was rumoring this? What are you talking about? Why? That doesn't even make sense. Guys, you know what would be really funny? Let's only build our cities on the opposite side that's facing that planet down there. That way, if someday apes evolve into hominids and get technology, it'll be fucking hilarious because they won't see us, right? The city will only be on the one side. Wait, you want us to build cities only on one side of this moon? Yeah, it's fucking funny, Craig. The alien's name is Craig.
2007, a mysterious figure took to video sharing website YouTube with evidence that this incredible scenario was not speculative fiction, but a clandestine fact, one hidden from the world to protect the truth about what they had found on Earth's closest neighbor.
That doesn't make any sense, though, because they still would have, like they didn't know they were gonna find it prior to the mission, so they would have been like, all right, everyone, here's Apollo, 18 and 19 and 20. but then, like, they would have hidden that fact. Why would they hide the entire mission prior to even getting there, not knowing they're gonna find an alien mummy or whatever bullshit you think they found? That makes no sense.
A user calling himself RetiredAF posted a number of videos, purporting to be footage of a secret Apollo 20 mission, jointly manned by US and Soviet astronauts, that took place in August 1976. RetiredAF identified himself as William Rutledge.
Yeah, I don't think by 1976 we were on good enough terms with the Russians to do a joint moon mission. I get it, we ended up doing, like, the International Space Station, which is awesome, but, like, Overthought says, found footage of moon people mocking us for being unable to make it to the dark side and find them.
I hope you can see this because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Moonites!
A now elderly and retired NASA astronaut, in exile in Rwanda, who took part in the secret Apollo 20 mission
What?
alongside
Why would he be exiled in Rwanda? That doesn't make any sense.
fellow astronauts, Leona Marietta Snyder, and Alexei Leonov. According to Rutledge, Apollo
Did you say one of their last names was Alienoff?
Marietta Snyder, and Alexei Leonov.
No, Leonov. I heard Alienoff, and I was like, your alien conspiracy has a Russian named Alienoff?
According to Rutledge, Apollo 20's mission was to explore the polar region of the moon, on its dark side, to investigate images supposedly taken by Apollo 15 of the area, which showed what appeared to be a vast ancient city and a huge, miles-long crashed spacecraft. Rutledge's footage would be astonishing if true, as it shows both the alien city and a flyover of the cigar-shaped spaceship. The videos then cut to the Apollo 20 crew actually exploring the interior of the crashed ship, and perhaps most amazingly of all discovering the body of a human-like alien. Dubbed Mona Lisa by the astronauts, the body appeared to have been that of a young woman, partially mummified with a thin layer of a waxy substance, covering its skin. She appeared to be locked into the controls of the spacecraft, by a device connected to her eyes and nose. After a successful but not uneventful launch,
I do like the idea that some other humanoid species also evolves and develops, like, hands and opposable thumbs, and instead of doing what we have done and create controls that are based on, like, being able to tactilely touch things, they're like, no, shove shit into my eyes! Very advanced. Gnome Pickles says, of course one is not named Alienoff. That's the name they gave the Doom laser they built into Mount Rushmore. Gosh, Hannah. The clues the Illuminati left about the Apollo 30 project are quite clear. I guess I'm just not paying enough attention. I'm too much of a sheeple.
the Apollo 20 crew headed for their destination on the far side of the moon, a small area in the Delport-Issac region, close to the Tsiolkovsky crater. They want to explore a huge object spotted by the Apollo 15 mission.
They want to do an Easter egg hunt in D&D. Ooh. That's tough. How do you do mechanics for an Easter egg hunt? I guess you could have them do investigation rolls, or like, but that just seems boring to do that over and over again. Ask Jake. Jake is better at designing, like, novel systems like this. I can't do that. I can come up with story and NPC ideas, but, like, mechanically, I'm bad. Ask Jake. He's better at the mechanics of D&D and coming up with, like, fun, I don't even know what to call it, mechanics for stuff like that. Puzzles, etc.
They were amazed.
Did I see the latest Trump post on Truth Social? I didn't. I'll take a look. World War III! Oh, he just said World War III. Okay, that's different. How's Peter doing? I told you guys that, Peter said he'd come on and talk again, right? Grizzler guy, thanks for the bits.
To discover it was a huge and ancient alien spaceship, about 2.5 miles long. Not far from it was another, smaller ship as well as what appeared to be a very old city. The Moon City was named on Earth and referred to as Station 1, but it appeared to be really space garbage, full of scrap, gold parts, and only one construction seemed intact. We named it the cathedral. We took shots of
These honestly kind of look like bad images made by an AI.
pieces of metal, of every part bearing
Looks like someone typed in abandoned moon city, dark side of moon, and this is what it came up with.
calligraphy, exposed to the sun. The city seemed to be as old as the ship,
I'm not necessarily saying that's literally what it is, but I'll tell you this, it's not a city on the moon.
but it is a very tiny place. In the rover video, the telephoto lens makes the artifacts seem larger. Their next destination was the derelict spaceship. We went inside the big spaceship, also into a triangular one. The major conclusions of the exploration were, it was a mothership, very old, that crossed the universe at least 1 billion years ago.
Creepy doll on the wall thanks for 500 bits.
There were many signs of biology inside, old remains
Many signs of biology.
of vegetation
What does that mean?
in a motor section,
Remnants of vegetation. Gotcha.
special triangular rocks, and
Special triangular rocks. Alright.
of course, signs of extrasolar creatures.
How would you know they were out from outside of the solar system? Extrasolar would mean from outside of the solar system. How would they know they weren't from the solar system? That doesn't make any sense. You could say extraterrestrial because they're not on Earth, but extrasolar means they're from another solar system. How would you know? Are these astronauts xenobiologists who somehow know about things no one knows about that are hypothetical sci-fi concepts?
We found remains of little bodies, 4 inches long, that lived and died in a network of glass tubes
Yeah, I've seen the mystery flesh pit. People have sent it before. I wonder if Roger from Mud Fossil University has seen it.
all along the ship, but the major discovery was that of 2 humanoid bodies, one intact. She was brought back to the lunar module for preliminary inspection. Mona Lisa? I don't remember who named the girl, Leonov or me, was the intact EBE, extraterrestrial biological entity. Humanoid, female, 165 centimeters, 5 feet 5 inches. Genitalized, haired, 6 fingers.
I assume genitalized just means has genitals?
We guess their mathematics are based on 12. Function, piloting device fixed to fingers
I'm gonna get genitalized.
and eyes, no clothes. We had to cut 2 cables connected to the nose. No nostrils. Leonov removed the eye device. As we told Mission Control, conditions seemed not dead, not alive. We had no medical background or experience, but Leonov and I devised a test. We fixed our bioequipment on the extraterrestrial alien body,
Your bio-equipment?
and telemetry received by Mission Control meds was positive.
They make it sound like they have a tricorder from Star Trek. Like they have a general scanning device that just, you know, scans it, tells you stuff. That's not how things work in real life.
The body of another extraterrestrial was also found on the spaceship, and appeared to have died a long time ago. We found a second body, destroyed, and we brought the head on board. Color of the skin was blue-gray, a pastel blue. Skin had some strange details above the eyes, and at the front, a strap went around the head, wearing no inscription. Rutledge mentioned nothing about their return to Earth, or what happened to Mona Lisa. She is on Earth and she is not dead, he told Scantambolo. When asked if he feared his statements might have consequences, Rutledge said, "I'm the whistleblower. What can NASA or the USAF do now?"
They'd kill you. If any of this is real, they'd kill you. But you're not, so...
Blocking or suing me would be an acknowledgement. They can speak of hoax or fiction. In an interview with Italian journalist Luca Scantambolo, Rutledge went into more details about their discovery of Mona Lisa, explaining that the EB extraterrestrial biological entity appeared to be neither alive or dead. According to Rutledge, the alien was disconnected from the navigational device and returned back to Earth aboard the lunar module, where the body still resides today.
Jitara says she's on Earth and not dead. She looks pretty freaking dead to me, Chief.
Rutledge also described the ship. We went inside the big spaceship, also into a triangular one. The major conclusions of the exploration were, it was a mothership, very old, that crossed the universe at least 1 billion years ago. Understandably, due to the sensational nature of the videos, Rutledge's posts to YouTube gathered.
Are these supposed to be like the real videos? Because they look fake. They look incredibly fake and unconvincing even by normal conspiracy standards.
Millions of hits. But soon after he claims his account was hacked and the videos deleted.
This has gotta be fake? You don't
was
say.
NASA trying to destroy the evidence of this most secret of missions? If so, it did not work.
CBC Mad, thanks for 25 months, says merci beaucoup, Hannah. Oh.
Quickly, Rutledge and others would set up multiple mirrored versions of the videos on several different video sharing websites, and they remain widely available.
Gee, I wonder why. It's almost like it's bullshit someone made up, but not real. Eldronder with 100 bits says, bringing the whole alien head you found on the moon would be a challenge. There was a committee just to make sure the flag could get there without burning or killing everyone on board. Yeah, there was no Apollo 20. They're saying they had 3 secret moon missions, though. It's the secret NASA. SNASA. What are Boxy's pronouns today? She, her. Oh, here's a chemtrails lady who thinks chemtrails are real.
Planes are. Why would planes be spreading chemicals over the top of Virginia Beach?
They're not.
Chemtrails are making your girl feel a little squirrely today. Alright? The fact that more people don't notice the crimes that are going on in the sky, in the atmosphere. Here, there were no planes. There are all the planes spraying. It's not that fucking hard of a concept. Just open up your stupid sheepy eyes.
Okay, so planes create something called contrails. It's not, well, everything's chemicals, but it's not like dangerous anything. It's water vapor and the exhaust of jets. It's fine. It's not weather control. It's not mind control. It's not population control. It's literally just the byproduct of a plane flying. You always found it weird that so many conspiracy theories and such have aliens looking a lot like humans, implying that we're the peak of evolution, having eyes more to the side of our heads. No, who needs peripheral vision? Having more replaceable teeth? No thanks. Aliens would probably look nothing like any creature we'd seen before. Why I like the xenomorph design so much. I would tend to agree, but it's easier to just do humanoid alien. I think a lot of people's idea of aliens is also informed by pop culture, and the vast majority of pop cultural aliens are humanoid, for better or for worse.
No planes. No planes. Planes full of shit. Alright, that's our lesson for today, folks. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse by trying to understand.
And the way I see it is aliens today fit a similar mold to like folklore of old, like imps and fey creatures out in the forest, you know? It's creatures in a place that are unknowable to you as a human, right? Or dangerous for you. You can't easily go there, so you imagine some sort of creature. Like, fey and stuff are still typically depicted as humanoid in that they have, like, hands and legs and stuff like that. That's, I think, how a lot of people who believe in alien abductions and stuff view aliens. It's just a sci-fi spin on folk tales, basically. People who are gullible and believe in the paranormal, instead of believing in, like, fey folk and goblins and shit, they believe in space aliens. Which is whatever, but it's not true.
People can't see and they've been brainwashed and yada yada. I mean, this is kindergarten shit. 3-year-old shit. A blind man would see this.
No, I just think you're jumping to conclusions because of conspiracy theories, if I'm being honest.
See this loop right here? He literally starts up here with this chemtrail and then whoop, goes back the other way. You can see right here the patterns that they're creating. with the chemtrails that are melting into the sky. You can see the scalar ripples.
Oh my god, can you see all this fucking water vapor? We're doomed.
From all the Wi-Fi and 5G frequencies going through them.
Wait, did you just say you think there's Wi-Fi and 5G signals traveling through the condensation? Alright, that's not how that works. 5G requires cell phone towers. Wi-Fi requires a Wi-Fi router and a modem.
This is enough to make anyone mad. Look how it's like, it doesn't even look real. How it's all peeling apart. What a joke. Every day, the same horrible, disgusting, wicked mess. Hey guys,
I miss Clued, guy.
Check out our Virginia Beach scum set. Look at these chemtrails. This is ridiculous. That's what you call the chemtrail money shot. Wow, that's insane. There's like a halo, a chemical
It's the
halo
Boo Chemtrail.
around the sun.
That's not close enough to Bukkake to be a joke. Remember the nukaki?
I hope you can see it.
I miss the nukaki. How's that spelled? Does anyone have that nukaki clip? Hold on, I'm gonna turn the camera off while I find this. Because in case you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. Where's the cum bomb?
Get a video of Gail.
We have an emergency. The Jesuits are about to launch a nuclear bomb that has semen in it that will infect everyone. We need our scientists all over the world to help us stop this bomb. And also, it's going to be like Jesuit Bukkake and a nuclear bomb, and it's headed towards Canada, where Judge Terrance Jenkins is right now. Any scientists out there that can help us stop this bomb, or
Chitara, thanks for 50 bits.
Come up with some sort of spermicide that will counter all the germs that are going to come out of this bomb. Contact Judge Terrance Jenkins at
hit us up, Terrance.
Judge,
we need you. The bomb's coming.
Terry Jenkins, JUDGETERRYJENKINS at yahoo.com.
Where did she learn about Bukkake? The internet, like the rest of us.
Or, Judge Terry Jenkins, or go to Gerard Butler, GERARDBUTLERMD at gmail.com.
Gerard Butler, MD! No relation. First name bunch number says Jesuit Bukkake nuclear bomb. Sure is some words.
They are going to, the nuclear bomb is headed right towards Canada right now, where Terry Jenkins is. We need scientists and military to intervene. This bomb can, hello?
Yeah, it's me again.
Yeah, keep talking. I actually have the video going right now, and I think you're being recorded.
Gnome Pickle says, I'm sorry, what? This cannot be real. I mean, I've heard a lot on this stream, but here, I draw the line at crazy. This cannot be real. She's real. Sky Comet says, in fact, is she trying to say it's gonna make everyone pregnant? Yes! She thinks it's a bomb to get all the women pregnant with Jesuit babies.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness,
this is a troll who's fucking with her, who called her. Sort of similar to a Chris Chan situation. There are people who fuck with her, which I don't agree with. Don't do that shit.
A video, that's amazing.
Yes, say what you need to say.
Well, our scientists and nanotechnology research team is saying that this is a nukaki. It's a new kind of nuclear bomb. It's a bomb that's got bukkake in it. It's gonna infect the whole world with Jesuit semen.
Okay, keep
so that's
going.
all I needed to tell you.
Okay.
Everyone,
I think you're being recorded. I hope so.
Okay, I hope so too,
Okay,
Gam.
all right, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, bye-bye.
Nukaki detonation, March 5th, 2016, colorized. With that sound effect? Alright, I'm in.
Later came the I have a very sad video to make today. The Canadian nation has been hit with this nukaki bomb. I'm going to read a letter that I got from Brent Spiner, dated December the 21st, 2011, 1:10 a.m. My dear wife, I am writing to you from the Canadian International Hospital where I sit in quarantine, zipped inside a dreadfully squeaky white hazmat suit. These suits actually look like the space suits we used on the set of Star Trek.
She thinks she's married to Brent Spiner. Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. Clearcat says, I didn't know I'd learn a new word today, nukaki. I can't believe I've been on the internet long enough that, like, there are people here who haven't seen these videos. These are classic wingnut videos.
So at the very least, I know I look cute in them. What I am writing...
Why would Data need a spacesuit? That's a good question. Pressure? Maybe he still needs to be pressurized in, like, one atmosphere for his systems to function, even if he doesn't need air. Sky Comet says, oh my god, everyone in Canada is pregnant. Even the AMAB people are pregnant. Rip Canada. Temperature, maybe? The temperature of space would be bad for Data systems? I don't know.
First-hand account of the horrible bombing that took place today. All of Canada has been bukkakied. I cannot describe to you the smell. The sensation.
It's like a well-used sex towel. It's ruined. Gnome Pickles with 50 bits.
Data.
Stations are so vivid in my mind, I have had trouble sleeping.
Air it out, Canada'll be okay. I don't know about that. The mooses. The poor moose!
Every time I close my eyes, the scene comes pouring back into my eyes, my ears, my nostrils, my mouth, like a horrific rape scene stuck on repeat. Minutes from hour zero, I sat in the hospital room next to Terrance Jenkins. My heart was pounding.
Why did she say Terrance like Terrance? It's so funny. Like I think there's some obsession with some sort of like Tim and Eric absurdist humor that I have. Because I think there's synthetic humor, right? Like people making jokes. What I do is synthetic humor, you know? I'm intentionally saying things that I think are funny and saying them in ways that I hope will make you laugh or entertained or whatever, right? But this is the pure, unadulterated, natural, non-GMO humor. This person is funny and doesn't even know it. Gail is funnier than I will ever be, and that's okay, because I can learn something from her. And what I've learned is that cum is funny. Overthought says, you're worried about the moose, but clearly they were aiming for the beavers. I can't even be mad at that one. That's good.
My palms were sweating as I flattened them on the cold window, dilated pupils fixated on the brightening horizon in the distance. I prayed. I saw the nukaki bomb as it came over the sky, silent, unglamorous, like an idle daydream whisking across the imagination and disappearing among the clouds. The room seemed to stand silent, still, swelling with the melody of I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, playing over the hospital intercom, uninterrupted by the horror dawning outside with the cold glow of the winter sun.
Jitara says, and the women said, Lo, the nukaki is upon us. Those of the nation of frost and maples will be set upon by a torrent of seed. The clergy looked to each other in confusion. One of the men spoke up, adjusting the bow on his maid outfit, and spoke unto the women. Gross.
The bomb dropped. I opened my mouth to scream, but nothing came out. The powerful blast ejaculated through the streets so fast there was no time to react. Innocent civilians had drowned in the milky depths before they could even scream. Buildings burst. The entire hospital shook under the tremendous quakes of the earth as doctors and nurses flooded into the rooms to gather everyone down into the basement. They made sure to round up...
No, Gail, don't do it! Cum settles at the lowest level! Go to high ground! High ground!
All of the celebrities first. The next thing I know, I was being dragged out of the room while Terrance Jenkins still lay on the hospital bed. Leave him, they said. He will never survive the trip without his left testicle, but I wouldn't allow it. Not this man, not my friend. I whirled out of the arms of the nurses and flung myself to his bedside. I politely asked permission to touch his body, to which he responded with a reluctant, drugged-out groan, then cupped his injured testicles in my own hands and hoisted his body out of the bed. I then began the arduous journey down 27 flights of stairs en route to the safety of the basement. Grasping the body of Terrance Jenkins, heaving and sweating, my legs pumped as hard and fast as they could. In no short time, the windows on the stairs exploded, and like an ocean tidal wave, the taste of salt violated my mouth and burned the back of my throat. We were being blasted with semen. I tried to run faster, but
Where did they get all this semen? Where did they get all this semen?
My timing...
Maybe Jordan Peterson was right, and that wasn't a fetish porn video. Maybe they are milking people against their will to make nukaki bombs in preparation for World War III.
Couldn't have been more terrible. Just as I neared each landing, the windows at head level...
Jamie with 19 months. Thanks for 16 months to the Navy. Prakagam says, from the Navy, of course. Mr. Blast beat you to the joke.
Would burst, shouting blast after blast of semen directly into my face. I wanted to collapse, to lose my mind in the terrible nuclear bukkake storm. Had it not been for my desire to save poor Terrance Jenkins and my desire to again see your sweet face, I might have died right then and there.
Oh yeah, Brent Spiner knows about her. Brent Spiner was asked about her at a convention, and he was like, yes, I'm familiar with her. I assume she's tried to contact him. Jake Thoney says Swiss Navy, that is. Gnome Pickles says, where did they get all this semen? Well, you see, when a man loves a magazine very much, and I guess has a few minutes, oof.
Sobbing in a pool of sperm and AIDS.
I guess you want that. If you're just trying to fill up a bomb, you don't want people who last a long time. You want people who can just... Who cares? Skip says, I've seen this documentary she's talking about.
Those Jesuits. I would not give it to them. I was the last to arrive at the doors to the basement. I set Terrance Jenkins down on the floor while Vladimir and the doctors immediately bolted the heavy doors shut behind us. Mere seconds later came the shaking blast of ejaculate hitting the steel doors. We had made it. We were safe. I knelt to check on...
If this is an Andy Kaufman-esque bit, she's fucking amazing. I don't think it is, but if she's in on this, it is playing a character. Amazing. I don't think she is, though.
To check on Terrance. To my horror, he was no longer breathing. I cried out in horror and protest and immediately began CPR. I put my mouth to his over and over, trying so desperately to infuse air into his heavily inseminated lungs.
I don't think there's a more disgusting phrase that you could say in English than heavily inseminated lungs. No! No!
Pausing to pump my palms against his manly chest, the doctors, nurses, and all the men circled the two of us. My eyes welled up with tears as I saw the doctor shake his head. Gerard Butler removed his hat silently, praying in Irish. I strained and I pumped, unwilling to give in. With one final thrust,
I'm pregnant, but it's a Volai-topic pregnancy, so it's not going to make it to term.
Saw a gurgle of semen burst past his big lips, his eyes rolled open, and he began to grunt.
Rockagam says he got lost in the sauce.
He could barely speak, his words still spraying with remnants of inhaled semen as he tried to force them out. He asked where he was, and proudly I replied that other than being covered in semen of mostly unknown origins, he was safe.
Mostly unknown origin. We're not doing bingo, just so everyone knows. No bingo today.
It was then I finally collapsed onto the floor beside him, exhausted, and slept. Hours later, we returned to the surface to inspect the aftermath of the attack. I almost gagged upon re-entering the hospital building. The odors permeated my nostrils, and I immediately brought my hand to my face to cover my mouth. The only way to describe it is like the cheapest mushroom Alfredo you have ever had, left to rot in the fridge for several months. Shuddering, I turned my eyes to the nearest window. My mouth fell open in a slow, seeping shock, as did the protection of my hand. The streets, which I would have presumed to be flowing with the milky remnants of Jesuit semen,
it's only 4 minutes left. 3.5 minutes left, guys. You got this.
Had hardened over in the afternoon sun.
There's a real science behind this process.
Of course it does. Time to orgasm, or T2O, has to be the same for each matching pair of dicks. Otherwise, I'm wasting a lot of great strokes on a guy that's already busted.
Unless you
What?
swap dicks in and out, so on a downstroke, you get a new one in, so when you stroke up, you're not wasting any energy.
Even so, I think this is the most reliable metric for stamina. Guys?
Are they trying to write an algorithm for sex?
Richard's been locked in here for almost 2 hours. Do we think he's okay?
I've not seen Silicon Valley. I've heard it's good.
I think he did seem pretty bummed out.
Sorry, where'd the video go? She's around here somewhere. There you are.
Freezing the entire city mid-wash in a noxious yellow crust. Rescue teams were sent to chisel through the wreckage looking for survivors. The rest of us were brought back to quarantine to be dealt with. According to Fox News, every Canadian woman has fallen pregnant.
Every single one. Everyone was apparently ovulating at the exact same time. And we're not even taking into account people who are like prepubescent or postmenopausal. Sky Comet says, I'm gonna die. I can't take it.
I'm a national crisis.
Yeah, here's the link.
I'm sure they are censoring this from the United States. Brianna, too. Brianna is Terrance Jenkins' baby that was rescued from the Vatican, and who has my genes and Terrance's genes. The Jesuits created her using our stolen eggs and semen. Brianna, too, has become pregnant, but she has chosen...
If you get blasted with enough cum, you'll get pregnant. I don't think I will. I don't think I will.
...to have an abortion, so she should come out of this okay. All of the men are okay.
Baha can try if she wants, though.
Okay. Our doctors are able to obtain enough spermicide to sanitize our bodies. We had to stand naked in quarantine and be blasted with a spermicide hose to fully eradicate all of the sperm. I am feeling itchy, but at least I am well. Terrance Jenkins is making a recovery as well. He is doing better than I could have hoped, and miraculously he still has his right testicle, although it is hanging on by a thread, so he has to hold it. I am glad you are safe and far, far away from here. I wish I could be with you, your husband, Brent Spiner. I also had about a 45-minute conversation with Terrance Jenkins, and I will be transcribing that and making a YouTube video about that. That may be several videos long, but I can't let you listen to the voice of Terrance Jenkins, because that way the Jesuits can track Terrance and kill him. In fact, that's one reason they had such a good aim when they dropped the nukaki bomb in Canada. But I will say that...
Do you have to have that good of an aim with any sort of nuclear bomb? Like, jizz-filled or otherwise? It's a nuke. You know, hit the general area. You got it. Gitara says, wait, did she say she has a daughter that was also some sort of Jesuit genetic experiment? Yeah, fake. She thinks that the Jesuits stole her eggs and Terrance Jenkins' sperm and made a baby or something. It's not a real baby. It's a fake baby.
The men that were affected were Matthew McConaughey, Brent Spiner, Gerard Butler. I believe Hugh Jackman was there. I think Vladimir is no longer there. I'm not sure, but Terrance told me that all of Canada has been affected. They're able to blow the winds so that this bukkake fallout is confining itself to Canada, but the Jesuits
bukkake fallout
want to drop a bukkake bomb on the United States, on the White House, and and Fox News is not able to broadcast this in the United States to let the world know what has happened. So I'm letting you know through this YouTube video. The senators and representatives in the United States need to get on this, and maybe you could contact Terrance Jenkins or Brent Spiner and Vladimir Putin and find a way to try to stop these Jesuits. Maybe you need to get a shield up. A shield over the United States and over all the countries in the world, because you can block this nukaki bomb with a shield, but you need to get it up to protect your country. Canada is in ruins right now, and Canada needs our prayers. The whole Canadian nation is in devastation right now. Canada needs our prayers, but other countries out there, before the Jesuits send a bomb to your country, you need to get a shield up. Contact Vladimir.
Guys, do you want to help fund my cum shield?
Or Putin or somebody, but you need to there's a shield technology you can get up to block this nukaki bomb. We weren't able to get it up in time in Canada. So I'm going to make this send this video out. This is an emergency.
That was beautiful. Thanks, Gail. Gail still posts, by the way. That video was from 11 years ago. This is her today. She's still posting. She's an ally, apparently.
In Gail's world, she stands so tall. The Gail commandments guide her all. Each day she walks with purpose strong, to keep her shield up all day long. Jesuits lurk, but she won't cower. With bravery, she faces each hour. A stranger's actions shouldn't be doing that, okay? Now, if somebody wants to practice group sex or whatever type of sex, that's fine. But to force your sexual preference on somebody else, and I'm not just referring to gay sex or even monogamous sex, I say to force it on somebody when they're not monogamous. Like if they're polyamorous, if they're homosexual, that's wrong. Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Sure. I don't think most people are doing that.
As long as the person is honoring true love, okay? As long as they're honoring true love and they're not being a rapist, anything goes, okay? I'm for free and true love.
I mean, right on. It sounds like she's probably not wording it the best, but she's just saying consent is key. Other than that, whatever. Which, sure, that's the correct opinion, I would say. She's wording it weird.
The situation that we have right now in the world, and very much in the United States, is that the Jesuits have basically taken over the news media, with the exception, of course, of Gabriel Chana Fox News, and they're controlling the narrative, okay? And because of that, they're getting away with murder, literally, terrorism, murder, and they're violating environmental laws, they're polluting the hell out of everybody. I mean, chemtrails galore, and finally, I thought they had the audacity to go after me legally, simply because I stand for true love, okay?
Okay, so that's Gail. Gail doing Gail stuff. The title of this video is Gail Might Be a Gay Bottom.
In Gail's world full of wonder and surprise, a new concept emerges before her very eyes. Joshua J. Joshua, her dear Patreon friend, introduces bottoms, a term to comprehend. These bottoms, they say, are a role well defined, in intimate moments with passion combined, receptive and yielding, embracing their place, a balance of power in love's tender embrace.
It's a poem about bottoms. Answer Amazing says this with the long hope of Main Hannah Reloaded. Made Hannah, oh I see. Also message for everyone in chat. Let's see if I can get this to go. The hyperlink didn't post correctly, so I'm trying to copy paste. Jake says that was actually really good. Jamie says, oh, what on God's green luscious flat earth did I walk in on? Everything.
I don't care what gender you are. Put on the maid outfit.
Hydrate.
Astonished by the notion, Gail ponders its role in the vast tapestry of her creative soul. A word so simple, yet so full of meaning, a new dimension to her world, ever gleaming. In the dance of desire, bottoms hold their own, for in their surrender, true strength is shown. A yin to the yang, a counterpart so dear. In Gail's wondrous universe, their purpose is clear. As her mind soars high like an eagle or worm, Gail sees the beauty in the roles that confirm the diversity of love, the connections so deep, the concept of bottoms in her heart she'll keep. While we were doing our Patreon hangout, that was from Zach Knight. Isn't that amazing?
Speaking of which, the patron-only live show is after this stream, so you can become a Patreon right now, and you will get to go to the after party. It's just we're gonna do more videos and stuff. So, come hang out. Here's the link to Patreon if you'd like it. Any amount. $1 will do ya. $1 a month, whatever. Rob4D20, thanks for 3 months, says, love you, Hannah. Oh, thank you.
He's really a talented poet. He started showing me his poetry the other day, and I was just amazed. He can come up with this stuff. And he said, yeah, he said, from what I know of you, your approach to sexuality seems like a gay bottom, and he described to me what a gay bottom is, and then Zach seems to have brilliant insight, and he described it even better in this poem that he wrote. He wrote a lot of other poems. He wrote all sorts of poems, so I'm sticking to, but each poem has like a different topic. So this one was about gay bottoms, and how Gail could be a gay bottom in her approach to sexuality. So I am not gay, I am heterosexual, and
Clickbait. Answer Amazing says, Hannah, question, will we be able to watch previous patron streams? Yes. They're all the patron streams are unlisted videos, and the links to them are through Patreon. So if you become a Patreon, you can scroll through the Patreon feed, and as long as you're logged in, you'll be able to see posts that are posted only for patrons, and that'll be all the links to the previous live streams. One, I believe, has been taken down for some copyright reason, but the rest are all still there. So not only do you get this patron-only live stream and the ones moving forward, as long as you're a patron, you get the backlog of VODs from the previous ones.
Yeah, let's just say this.
Razor Sharp Gaming, thanks for 3 months, or 8 months, 3-month streak, says, I'm so sad I miss lives, so I'm hoping to say hi, Uwu, and Shrek.
I can get turned on when somebody is when they're a brilliant writer. I can be turned on by brilliant writing. And Joshua noticed that, and he said, oh, you're getting so turned on. And then I said, oh, really? And he says, yeah, it's showing on the scanners, because they can do scanners on me. And I said...
showing on the scanners!
I thought it was rather strange. And then I got kind of defensive. I said, really? But I was like, I don't really want to have sex with anybody. And he says, well, you're just really turned on. And I said, really? Is it just showing physical turn on? He says, oh, it's everything. It's...
Okay, that makes me uncomfortable that someone is clearly talking to her and, like, being a creep. Anyway, so that's Gail. Moving on. Let's learn about demons.
Hey guys, I want to tell you 2 tricks that demons can do. One is they walk out of a door and they come right back in, and it's the same demon, just they shapeshift and come back in. Like they walk out with all this momentum, you know, and they come back in, and they shouldn't be able to come back in that fast because they had all that momentum, and they shapeshift. So they walk out of a room and come back in real quick, and you're like, there's no way it could be the same person, but it's the same demon. And another thing they do is
do you see
like,
demons
just
often?
There's 2 people walking down the street, it doesn't mean there's 2 people. It's just one demon, just one smoke demon, you know, putting out the hologram, I guess, that it's 2 people.
Oh, he thinks random human beings are holograms. This man has paranoid delusions about demons. That's good. I'm sure that'll work out well for him.
Walking. But just because there's 2 people, just because there's 4 people, one time I stopped into a church, like, completely out of the blue, you know, and they did a little spiel, and then they said, everybody get up and shake each other's hands, and it was so creepy. It was, like, so orchestrated. It was like one demon, like, was just, like, getting up and shaking each other's hands. It was crazy, and I got out of there really quick. So those are 2 tricks that demons have. Okay, thank you, bye. In a way.
So the shaking hands thing is a pretty common thing in churches, at least the ones I've been to when I was younger. It's forced socialization. Boomers like it, I think. It's to foster a sense of community, and it does feel artificial because it is, but that's not demons. That's just church.
This is kind of the craziest thing I talk about. Like, Transformers are real, demons are Transformers. You guys, man, I'm hounded by machines.
Are they Decepticons or Autobots?
Like, I don't really care. I don't have any friends anyway. I don't care if you guys think I'm crazy. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I think I'm Paul Walker, and it feels good to say that because I'm really that gang stalked. But anyway, to sound more crazy, well, I guess I want to say we're living in a sci-fi nightmare, guys. I mean, like, everybody's got to admit that now. So this isn't that crazy. But my motivations aren't pure for doing this. Like, I want other people to, like, join into my nightmares, what I want, you know? So, I don't know. Don't listen if you don't want them to. Which I'm sure most people won't. But Transformers are real, man. I read the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavato. I think that's how you say it. And I also read the Ramayana. But anyway, in Vedic astrology and, like, Vedic mythology or whatever,
like the Vedas,
it explains that the worlds below us, there's worlds, heavenly worlds above us, and demonic worlds below us, and the demonic worlds are filled with technology. So much so that you know, these demons have merged themselves with technology, just like they're trying to do to us. They did that to themselves a long time ago. So the alien and the car are one. The alien cop and the cop car are one. I had a weird experience. It was crazy. But anyway, I had to go to the hospital, and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you a ride home." I was like, "Cool. That's nice of you guys. Thanks." Like I was picturing a nice hospital van, like, you know, sliding door. You can have the whole back to yourself kind of thing. I was like, all right, that'd be good. But man, it was. If you guys have seen the Obama video where he comes out and he's kind of shape shifting, he's
I've
like
not.
at a CPAC meeting or something, but it's for
CPAC? You think Obama's at a CPAC meeting?
Democrats and it's for Obama. And he shakes hands with the one little bodyguard guy, and you can see him shift into a vampire kind of deal. It was exactly that kind of entity. Exactly that kind of entity that, like, okay, we're going to take you home. And there was this cop car, and it had 18 on it, and the back was so small. Like, usually the back of a cop car is so small that they don't give you room for your legs kind of deal. But this one was extra small. And I could tell that the demon, that fucking vampire, disgusting demon, same one as Obama, you know, they just ate some children and they came out and they're shape-shifted and they're all like creeping out, you know. Hey man, see the birds like the truth. And that was the same exact demon that gave me a ride home. But anyway, the demon and the car are one. And Transformers are real. And you can call me put me in the room next to Sarah Connors, because Sarah Connors ain't got shit on this.
The difference is Sarah Connor was right. You genuinely probably have mental issues, and I feel bad for this guy. This sucks.
Alright guys, thank you, bye.
Oh, I hope he gets help. Oh, you want to see a video that's just...
Trump is your false prophet. I don't care what you think of me. I know for a fact that we're halfway through tribulation. And 100% proof that...
Is there anything in this video that's maybe a little bit of an elephant in a room that isn't being discussed?
Anthony Fauci is the beast. When he goes and says in this video that I'm going to play for you here, that you cannot buy, sell, nor trade, you cannot even work unless you take that injection. No, get the mark of the beast. That's what it is. Okay, 100% proof. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right.
There are a number of people. Hopefully,
back to Chicken Man. I want to see your chicken. Oh, is this the whole rest of the video?
To have the vaccine.
What's up with your chicken?
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost.
Why is he muted?
There's these stupid
it's only
parents
on the left
out
here.
there teaching children that Jesus is God and God is Jesus. Oh, you know, that's really not right at all.
I mean, the Trinitarian view of Christianity is pretty common. If you don't like that, I guess don't go to churches that are Trinitarian.
Where is that in the Bible? That's nowhere in the Bible because that's false teachings. So I'm going to play this video of a brainwashed child brought up by a brainwashed...
You got to keep a chicken handy for a handy? That doesn't even make sense.
Christian family that doesn't properly teach the proper teachings from the Holy Bible.
I want to tell you about...
Oh my god, that's so loud. Also, kid. I'm not playing someone's fucking kid.
Here's the 100% proof that Trump funded Big Pharma, corporate America, which ended up giving them power to force you to take something you didn't want. That was an experiment. Most of the world ended up being forced into it by their tyrannical governments.
I think most of the world wanted the vaccines. Most people wanted to be vaccinated, and we have been, sir.
Because that's NATO for you.
But look.
What?
Look, we did something that was historic. We saved tens of millions of lives worldwide. We, together, all of us, not me, we. We got a vaccine done, 3 vaccines done, and tremendous therapeutics like Regeneron and other things that have saved a lot of lives. We got a vaccine done in less than 9 months. It was supposed to take from 5 to 12 years. Because of that vaccine, millions and millions of people, I think this would have been the Spanish flu of 1917, where up to 100 million people died. This was going to ravage the country far beyond what it is right now. Take credit for it. Take credit for it. It's a great, what we've done is historic. Don't let them take it away. Don't take it away from ourselves. You're playing right into their hands when you sort of like, because
President Big Pharma.
No. That's there's a very tiny group of it.
Wagrode says, pretty sure the Trinity is in the Bible, in an epistle of Paul that is likely a forgery, but I forget.
Yeah, Trump totally 100% supports
Yeah,
Big
Trump got an accidentally based. That's a rare one.
Pharma. And you have no control over your rights to your body. If you don't take it, you don't work.
I mean, you could find a company that doesn't, like, do mandates.
If you don't take it, you can't travel. You don't take...
That's kind of a country's prerogative to stop people from entering their country without being vaccinated.
Your life is ruined. Now imagine if they were able to jab every person on this planet. And later on found out that it was slowly destroying people's DNA.
It's not, though, and it hasn't, because it was tested, and because we understand what it is actually doing, and it doesn't do anything like that. Like, I understand that you don't understand it, and even I, as a layperson, don't understand it, like someone who's a scientist in that field understands it, but I understand that it's been tested, and I trust scientists to, at the very least, do things to the best of their abilities in large groups, right? That's the point, is falsification and testing things. It's fine.
And then suddenly found out nobody could reproduce in 20 years. Well, that's the end of humanity. Nah, like y'all really give a crap.
Who else we got? We got some mud flood people.
The end is near. Have you seen strange stars in the sky that flicker red? Perhaps you have, perhaps you have not.
I have not.
Are you hearing the buzzing and the hissing in your ears? You might think it's the 5G. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But according to the latest intelligence, the aliens are already here.
What intelligence? No, there isn't.
Some people call them demons. Other people have other ideas. We're going to talk to you about what's happening. Nobody is going to talk to you about this, but the longer that we describe what's going on, the more it's going to make sense. And eventually you'll probably just want to change the channel.
Yeah, I stand by my this guy isn't crazy, he knows what he's doing, and he's preying on the mentally ill in order to rile them up, but I don't know to what end. Does he just think it's funny? I've expressed before that I think he might have some interest in those BS companies that do EM shielding for people who... If you've ever seen Better Call Saul, like Chuck from Better Call Saul, who think they're allergic to electromagnetic radiation. They're not. It's psychosomatic. I don't know, but the videos are too organized and too consistent for him to be completely this bonkers bananas. And you also see him tailoring the message, right? If you believe in aliens, then what he's talking about is aliens. If you think aliens are demons, then he even mentions, well, some people call them demons, you know? He knows his audience. This isn't coming from a personal, like, individual standpoint of someone who believes in conspiracies. It feels like it's rhetoric coming from someone writing for an audience of conspiracy theorists with a wide range of beliefs that they have to kind of cater to. Not one specific worldview, but many overlapping worldviews.
And say to yourself, no way. But you're probably not going to be able to forget what we say here. To begin, let us just say that those that died from COVID and the vaccines and the like are the lucky ones compared to what's coming.
If you were possessed by a demon, would you have more energy and multitask? Yeah, probably. Seems like a good program, actually. If a demon wants to, like, invade me, that's fine.
News of World War III and the threat of nuclear annihilation is really a contingency plan in case these aliens make a bold move. The television will announce it as a nuclear war. The Russians, have struck first or vice versa, and they'll make everybody believe it's just World War III as the entire world gets nuked. And those...
I'm gonna be honest, if you nuke the entire world, you don't really have to come up with a cover story. It's irrelevant. Like, you don't need a cover story if you're gonna nuke the planet. Because, like, civilization's over anyway. Like, who are you lying for? Like, for whose benefit are you lying?
Those will be the lucky ones.
In the 5 seconds before the entirety of human civilization and 99% of the population dies out, we'll come up with a lie for no reason. The 5 seconds before they're overtaken by the blast radius, they'll think it was World War III instead of whatever conspiracy this guy thinks it is.
In the aftermath will come the alien...
What's AO3?
Invasion. And the aliens will try and disable the nukes, not to save us, but to torture us in ways that we can't even imagine.
Okay.
You've heard of the whoosh or the adrenochrome. It's begun already. They're already harvesting people.
They're not.
But let's get back to these red stars, these flickering red stars that are orbiting our planet. These are...
Stars don't orbit our planet.
The alien craft. They are...
We orbit the sun.
Stars.
And the sun orbits the galactic center.
Ships. You can laugh at that all you want, but it's already here. And it's going to get worse. This also describes the Havana syndrome and the targeted individual syndrome as well. People aren't being targeted by government or 5G per se. They're being targeted by aliens. And as the invading fleet gets closer, the attacks will become more and more intense. Some of their scout ships happen to millions of people.
Again, this is one of the ways they dehumanize ideological enemies. They just claim they're aliens or demons or NPCs. That way they don't have to see them as human beings with value.
And we can see it all around us. Our society has changed. Everything has changed. People have changed. But it's not just them. There's something else going on. We are currently living in a science fiction movie, and the war is getting hot. Some people are able to fight back. We've been talking about this in our Jedi training series, and of course it sounds extraordinary, but we're not here unarmed. People have just forgotten how to defend themselves from...
Yeah, we've seen the Jedi training thing. It's not as interesting as it sounds, believe it or not. Alright, fuck that guy. What else we got?
Hello everyone, Mr. New York here again with a new update. In my last report I mentioned that the storm is upon us. This means the people that are in the secret shadow government, that have been there since the 40s, are now starting to be dismantled. They're going to resist being taken down, and they're not going away easily. There is going to be all kinds of fights and riots and false flags and things of that nature. They're going to be attacking Trump's supporters in Congress and in the Senate. They're going to be going after different people in different ways. They're like rats, scurrying, but they don't want to be taken. The world right now is in turmoil, but that turmoil will end in the next 3 months. The white hats are coming forward. A lot of countries are going through revolutions or revolts, including Canada, England, and Sweden.
Canada?
They thought people would just lay down. In France they did not, Italy they did not, Rome they did not, Germany they did not, China they did not. People are going to be taking back their countries.
Hope you're doing well
the
too,
United
Gregory
States will
Term.
be taken back. Many of the plans of the cabal to create a new world order will not function or happen. In the future the truth comes out, but not the details of what is happening at Gitmo. We may even see a false flag alien invasion played up to dissuade people from looking at our reality. A lot is happening that you don't hear about that is occurring. People are being taken in and arrested, including people in the FBI and the CIA. A lot of top people are disappearing because...
Why do they use the fucking voices?
Shalom Mubaraka, Mishpaka, peace and blessings, family. In this video, we're going to touch upon some of the things that are going on right now that show us that we are indeed in the last days of this
That is some intense fucking incense or whatever it is he's got going on.
Activity. Now, as you can see.
Oh, is it like sage or something?
Got that balm of Gilead. You know what I'm saying? Burning. You don't know what the balm of Gilead is.
He is trying to speak Hebrew. He's one of the people who thinks that black people are the actual Israelites. Whatever that's called. Black Israelite, I think actually is the name of the group.
You want to hop on my Patreon?
You think that's weed? That would be a waste of weed. Like if you just put it all in a cup and burned it, like you're not gonna get very inefficient. Jesus Christ. Get a vaporizer or a bong or something. Speaking of which, 420's coming up. We're gonna do a 420 stream on 420, so prepare for that if that's something that interests you.
First thing that started to take place in 2022, animals started mysteriously spinning around in circles. This is a sign, all right? Animals of all different types. We're talking about birds, sheep, cows, and horses.
We're gonna do a quick poll. I might do a poll on the Discord as well. For the 420 stream, do we want to do a conspiracy stream? Or like a VHS weird stuff stream? Like, you know, VHS Vault. Answer this poll!
Second thing is a huge lightning strike just so happens to strike the largest statue of JC in the world. And then I would like to talk about how they are legitimately poisoning the earth that we're in.
The sample size here is going to be skewed, too, because if you show up for conspiracy streams and like them, you're probably on this stream. I'll do a poll on the Discord as well. Join the Discord if you haven't.
They are legitimately poisoning the earth.
This is Beard Guy, yes.
That we're in. You know, I'm going to throw in a bonus. AI, right? AI. Let's talk about it.
Weed-themed conspiracies. Peter! We could read one of Peter's books.
First thing I want to talk about is the animals that have decided to just spin around for days at a time.
Am I gonna do a weed on 420? Yes, that is what makes it a 420 stream. I'm pretty sure a good portion of my audience is probably high most streams. The difference is I will be with you.
Time in circles. And I'm going to tell you why that's a sign from y'all. Because it says in the book of Jasher, chapter 6 and verse 10, that the animal...
Peter, interview on 420? That would honestly be awesome.
surrounded the ark. Right? They surrounded the ark. Not only did they surround the ark, they surrounded the ark 7 days before rain fell upon the earth. Noah was not talking to these animals. Animals were not talking to Noah, right? There was no way for these animals to communicate with Noah.
I'm glad we've covered that the animals were not speaking to Noah verbally.
no way for these animals to communicate with each other. However, they were still able to do this thing simultaneously, organized, and sophisticated. And the reason why is because animals have instinct. Animals have instinct, which we would call intuition. Animals have very high.
Do I think Noah had any races with the animals? Oh, God. The flashbacks.
Intuition. Very strong intuition. There's videos online of pets, right? Freaking out. And then the owner's like, why are they freaking out? Boom, earthquake comes. You know, you can see it, cats, dogs. They start going crazy, then an earthquake comes. How do they sense that?
They're closer to the ground and they have better hearing than us. You stupid fuck.
Cows. When a storm comes, they run, right? How do they sense that? Birds. They start to migrate before the season change, not when the season change.
Where'd that quote from? Oh, God.
Hi, Ruben. May I ask, what book are you reading?
Oh, hi, Hannah. Yes, it's a book about Noah's Ark.
Ruben, do you actually believe in the Bible story of Noah's Ark?
Well, yes, I do. I believe in what it says.
Oh. Okay, then. Ruben.
Yes, Hannah?
As the head librarian here, I must recommend for you to read perhaps some more informative books. There's always the dictionary.
I've never played the game for this, no.
Encyclopedias, and also many history books to choose from.
No, Hannah.
Now we know where I got my name from. Yep, it was a reference to this all along.
I like books about animals. Those other books are boring to me.
Animals? Oh. Well, how about these books?
Hey, look here. This one book is called Creature Racing. Ah, Creature Racing. Do you think that Noah had any creature races in those days after the world flood? I mean, did Noah play and have fun with the animals with racing games? Racing games. Wow. What do you think, Hannah? I wonder.
I think that maybe you read too many books, Ruben. Imagine that. Racing games. You have too much imagination, Ruben. I wonder. And who would actually start and announce such a race? Would it be God himself, maybe? Yeah, right. Now I've heard everything. God organizes an animal race and is also a great race announcer. Well, God cannot do that.
But, you know that God can do it, because God can do anything. Are you saying that the great God who made the earth cannot do something?
Well...
Come on, Hannah, let's race. You and me, let's race. Let's have some fun. Just around the library. I'll race you, Hannah.
Chitara says, for those unaware, black Israelites are sometimes an issue within the black community. They intersect with hoteps frequently and are oftentimes pretty misogynistic and peddle a ton of conspiracies under the guise of black power / positivity. They also end up being used by white supremacists / racists as, quote, examples of, quote, black inferiority, or the idea that all black people are delusional. As a progressive black man and activist myself, I've had to deal with racists comparing me to them. That sucks. Sorry to hear that.
Come on, Hannah. Are you going to race me?
What? Reuben, are you crazy? There's no racetrack around here, and I'm not even dressed for racing. I'm not some dumb animal creature like you read in your books. You need to get a brain, Reuben. And besides that, well, I don't think that I can race even if I wanted to.
Waiting for Apple to buy the rights to tell the making of this masterpiece. They're busy with Tetris. First name bunch of numbers says, this feels like I accidentally took the brown acid. What does that mean?
Not very strong or anything. How could I ever race? I mean, I'm very small and so very thin and, I don't feel like I can race and I don't feel very well. Ugh.
This is Zoo Race?
Whoa! What happened? Wow. Oh, great. I'm a horse now. And you, Reuben? You're a rhinoceros. Oh, this is just so crazy. I just want to know something. What else could ever happen to us today? What else can happen?
Ready.
That's God.
Set. Go. At the start, it's Kane the Cougar, followed by Priscilla the Pig, Hannah the Horse, and Reuben the Rhino.
The controls look abysmal on this. Never thought God would sound like Clued Man. Clued Dude! His name is Clued Dude.
It was a 9:30 or a 9:45. They said something, then it started again.
You know what I love in my racing game are water traps where everything slows down to a crawl for no reason.
The war began. The clash was on and they started to fight. I know the word hurt, but is it right?
No one did.
No, it's not alright.
Jesus Christ, how long does this go on for? Okay. Glad I could introduce that to some people.
Okay, hey everybody, it's me, Deplorable McAllister, Linda Paris, and I'm here with, Christian 21, and
who scribbled all over his walls like a very sane person.
Yeah, everybody's been asking about it. Everybody's been asking about you, and we're going to talk about the map, that the one that I made and the one that Christian has, and we're going to talk more about this.
He doesn't look 21. No, it was the year of his birth.
This grid system and everything. Now, I wanted to ask you a question, and that's when I stopped. And I said, let me just record this. So I'm going to share screen again and share the map that I made. And I'm going to basically tell you what this means to me, and you can tell me if I'm on the right track. Okay? So when I hit the red, I know, because you told us, that there is a dumping ground for demons out here in outside Gateway 10. And that all of this red, when it comes on, represents the information, the technology, everything these demonic entities are doing to get the reptilians to create these gray foot soldiers, and they are also coming up with things. And these are things, ways that they can control us inside the dome now that it's created. And all of this information and this technology and everything, this negative technology.
Weirdest Stargate fanfic you've seen.
Negative stuff comes from these three portals right here. It's all transferred through portals, and it ends up right here. And these are the three portals that feed it into where the black sun is, and it goes inside up through where the are real, and they are telling us in all of the films, and that Steven Spielberg, and I've talked about this in other videos, especially
Robert Morley, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. How you doing?
Spielberg uses real aliens and stuff like that. Yes. That's not the special effects department with all of their, plastic and stuff that they make. That he's using real aliens and real demons. Did you say?
Yeah. We got see, look, most of the top celebrities, actors, and sports celeb, all that sort of world, all the bloodlines, they are all snatched vessels. These people, see, like people like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, that sort of age group, and older, These people, they're reptilian. They are pure blood. They're not. They didn't sign their soul and all that lot. They're body snatched. Yeah.
Happy Easter to you too. I literally forgot it was Easter. Baha reminded me.
So what you're saying is that they, all these people in Hollywood, all of these politicians, all of them, celebrity scientists, celebrity preachers, celebrity, any high person who's making, so many figures. There's a 20 million club, there's a 30 million club, there's all these clubs. And at a certain point, there is a reptilian in there. The people are no longer there. And the reptilian is controlled by a demon. That's what you're saying.
Not all reptilians. Reptilians who work with the Galactic Alliance. Reptilians, as I said to you before, Linda, good reptilians have been working with Space Force and the Galactic Alliance because they know the ins and outs of them as well, how they operate and everything. They're not possessed by demons. They
like a different person.
Made you see him walk through in the prison. He went out the back door. He's an overlord.
My ADHD is getting to me today. God damn. I didn't sleep very well, chat. I was sick last night, so I was up and I threw up. So sorry about that.
Getting right into it.
Am I demon controlled? I'm a reptilian. We have an agreement.
One of the problems I've had is that when you go to look at old photography, say from the year 1859, if you start going much earlier in time, you're not going to find a whole lot of images. It seems that
gee, I wonder why
photography was not as widespread pre-1859. I'm not sure the...
You can look up when the camera was invented, right?
Exact.
That's not a mystery. We know when, the daguerreotype shit happened.
Date on these images. I can only rely on what Google Images is telling me. This is Market Square from the upper floor of City Hall in 1859. This is actually in Kingston, Ontario. And these photos are interesting because there's not a lot of people in these old photographs. There are windows intact. The streets aren't paved. There are some earlier images than 1859.
Hydrate.
Here's one of 1855, supposedly. The picture above, taken in 1855, may be the oldest existent photograph of New York City's Hall building. Here's a picture in Kansas
My demon
City.
gelatinous purple, perhaps? I don't have a demon!
My point is that if we go looking for pictures of city images in the year 1855 or earlier, we start getting more hand-drawn depictions of the cities.
Yeah?
This one's neat. This is 1855, and apparently this is in Philadelphia. But interesting, there's not a whole lot of people around.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to take a picture appropriately, like, correctly with people walking around. Photos like this had a very long exposure time, so if there were any people moving around, it would cause big streaks in the image.
And again, this is a big, major U.S. city, so shouldn't there be people?
They probably, because photography was a brand new thing, cordoned off the area and said, all right, we're taking a picture. You can't go right here for like 10 minutes. Okay? Jesus.
So, what are we to do if we want to see images of cities before the years 1859, 1855? What can we do? So
you probably can't, because again, photography is an invention that happened at a specific point in time, and prior to that we couldn't take pictures.
I had an idea. I thought, well, maybe I'll look at some bank notes.
Okay.
Because on some of the bank notes, there might be pictures of buildings.
Oh, sure. If he's including illustrations, fine. There's plenty of, like, paintings and illustrations and drawings of things.
Went through the process of just looking at old banknotes and trying to see the earliest years I could find. I've got some more commentary on what I'd like to talk about related to banking, but I'll keep that information towards the end of my video. I did come across the following banknote. I'll leave this website on currency in the link in the description below. But this is in South Carolina in the year 1855. Now, back in these years, banking operated differently, and local community banks would issue their own paper banknotes.
Maps and Mimic says it's also very possible that people walking through just weren't captured because of the very high exposure times needed for early photography. I think it would still pick something up. It would just look fucked.
They would issue their own currency, which were redeemable in gold or silver, particularly silver dollars. So this is from the Bank of South Carolina. Just like to zoom in on this part. And so here's the year 1855. And on this note, you can see that the 55 is written with pen and ink. So that's generally how the system worked. And so it started with 18, and then they would write the year, and I guess the month. And they would use a similar banknote for decades. They might use this same style of banknote, and they would just keep printing them, and then they would change the year each time they issued a new banknote. What is interesting is if you go back and you start looking...
This guy's boring. Sorry.
So you want to know more about the mud flood? That's good. That's real.
I fucking hate this guy. His voice annoys me so much.
Oh, good. Alright, listen to this. So the mud flood was a catastrophic event that happened roughly 150 years ago.
No, it wasn't. It didn't happen. It's not real.
Wiping out many civilizations and burying many buildings under mud. Many ancient structures that we see today was once buried. All over the world, you can find these buried structures. And we literally had to dig them out from the mud. And
do you know what archaeology is? Do you know what, like, anthropology is? Things getting buried over time doesn't mean there was a flood, necessarily.
Every now and then, we stumbled across sinkholes, uncovering buried buildings. And this is the reason why so many buildings have windows partly buried in the ground.
No, again, half basements or 3/4 basements are a thing. My house literally has a 3/4 basement.
If you notice with this one, the windows get smaller and smaller. And sometimes you see buildings with windows like this. Trust me, that's not a basement. Because if you keep digging, you will see the original front door. Oh my days. So anytime...
Oh my god, I hate these guys.
When you come across buildings like this, you're dealing with mud flood. Every time we see images of ancient Rome...
Okay. We've been going for 2 hours, which is a little shorter than normal, but because I'm about to jump onto the patron-only live stream, I think we're going to cut it short today. So, like I said, if you want to be part of the patron-only live stream, you can. It'll be starting in probably 20 or so minutes. I have to use the bathroom. So if you want to become a patron, there's a link. Let's see who we're going to raid. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Oh my gosh. I can't believe Eugenia Cooney's still. Holy shit. Poor woman. Let's raid. $27. Alright, have a good night, everyone. See those of you who are Patreons in about 20 minutes. I will post the link to the stream in the patron feed, as well as direct messaging all Patreons on Patreon. So I'll see you then. Adios.